the longest road in the world. Today we travel the world easily. Cars, trains, and planes take us quickly from city to city. Thousands of years ago, it was different. There was only one way to travel from Europe to Asia. It was called the Silk Road. In fact, the Silk Road was made up of many roads. They passed through many different places, like deserts, rivers, mountains, and forests. The Silk Road dates from about 100 BC. A hard trip. Traveling on the Silk Road was very hard. The best way to travel along the Silk Road was by camel. Many people used horses too. Others, the less fortunate travelers, had to walk. Taking things to sell. Most people traveling on the Silk Road were bringing things to sell. They carried many different things, but the most famous was silk. Silk is a material that is soft and used for making clothes. And carrying ideas, too. The Silk Road was also important for carrying ideas. Philosophies like Buddhism and mathematics were carried from country to country. This was the easiest part because ideas are easy to carry. Anyone can do it. The capital of China. Many people started their journey along the Silk Road in China. At the eastern end of the Silk Road was Xi'an. This was the capital of China at the time. It was also the starting point for most travelers. Xi'an had all the comforts of a big city. There was food to eat and water to drink. It was a good place for travelers to prepare for the next part of their journey. On the road. Can you imagine what it was like leaving Xi'an? It seemed that you were about to cross the whole world. You visited different countries where they spoke strange languages. Sometimes the people would be friendly, but sometimes traveling could be dangerous. The dangers. Travelers had to be careful. Sometimes the desert was very hot. At other times, it was cold. In some places, bandits waited to rob or to kill you. The Caves of the Thousand Buddhas. An important place on the Silk Road was the Caves of the Thousand Buddhas, the Mogao Caves. This was one of the Silk Road's most sacred sites. There, travelers prayed for good luck for their trip. Resting at an oasis. An oasis is an area in a desert where water is found. Along the Silk Road, it was a place to stop, rest, and feed animals. Sometimes a city was built at an oasis. There, the traveler could finally get a good night's sleep. Samarkand. Beyond the desert was the city of Samarkand. Samarkand was in the middle of the journey between China and Europe. It was famous because it had lots of water. It had lovely gardens and rich fields. A famous traveler. Have you heard of Marco Polo? He was one of the most famous travelers on the Silk Road. He traveled from Italy to China and back again. Marco Polo wrote a book about his amazing travels. The end of the road. The Silk Road did not last forever. Ships became a safer and quicker way to travel. After the 10th century, travelers slowly stopped using the Silk Road. Rebuilding the Silk Road. For a long time, the Silk Road was the greatest road in the world. It connected many countries. Travelers on the road went right across the world. Some countries are now planning to rebuild the road. Would you like to travel on it after they do?